Welcome to The Prize Inside. The Prize Inside. A chiropractor's journey in everyday holistic health and vitality. Here, your host, Dr. Jeremy Myers, delves into the remarkable journeys of everyday people who have embraced the path to health and healing. Through his practice, Dr. Jeremy encounters inspiring stories of profound transformation and the power of true healing within each of us. Stay tuned as we discuss various holistic topics and unlock the healing potential that lies within us all. Welcome to The Prize Inside.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome tonight to a pretty special one. I think it'll be fun. We're going to talk about sleep. So get yourself ready for that. Ironically, we may have a dog in the background. For those that don't know, we had my little Olive, our little, well, she's not really little, but Olive, our corgi, had a cyst on the top of her head. And it kept developing, and we're like, okay, well, she uses her head as like a battering ram because she has like no legs. So she's got, like these little tiny legs. Unfortunately, she is kind of built like a pig's body. So that pig's body, a lot of times she'll use her head instead of like her nose and all those kind of things. So we thought it was just a cyst like that. I got a comment already. Oh, you can't hear me. All right. Maybe I unmuted. So hopefully that'll be good. All right, Sue, tell me if we can hear me. Put in the comment if you can hear me at this point. So as we go, she had the cyst. Well, then as a little, as she loves rolling like a pig, almost exactly. Just like that. Well, this time she happened to go into a bunch of hornets. So this hornet's nest, like one of those underground hornets, and just nailed her face. Well, nailed that same cyst that was right in between on her skull there. And so it got big, and it kept getting big. And it was one of those where we were hoping it would just kind of go away, and we were watching it, and then it just got to the point of yikes. So we ended up having to have her have surgery. So she ended up having like major stitches like through the top. She's doing really well with it though. So hopefully everyone can hear me. I'm going to test this real quick. Make sure people are hearing it. Okay. So I just checked our live, so we'll be good. As we go forward tonight, we got 3 different things we go over that I kind of researched. So here we go. All right. Sue, that is crazy. Tell me if you're on Facebook, huh? Mine is working. So check the little box. There's a little microphone looking thing on the side, and you got to push the little button there, Sue. So just let you know that there's a little microphone thing usually. So when I look at mine, you just got to touch it, and it'll let you in. You got to go in and do that. It'll let you in. You got to go in. Yeah. So it'll help you out there. So anyway, so let's keep going. Oh, shoot. Before I got one other thing I got to do before we talk about this. All right. There we go. Okay, excellent. Yeah, Sue, I can catch it. I think everybody's good. So just keep messing with it until you get it, because I know it's on there. But so as you go, when you so these are the top three things before we talk about sleep tonight. So one of the ones that I thought was interesting in an article, if you have your normal level of vitamin D, like the vitamin D, like we talk about all the time, you have an actual higher degree of mental health as well. So that's pretty cool. So not only do you help yourself in your immune system function, remember, like vitamin D is your immune system, it's your alarm system to your house. So the better that rating is, the more it happens as you go forward. So your vitamin D is your levels there, and it'll go from there. Okay. So the other one is decreased sleep time equals increases your rate of heart disease. So if you have trouble, and it's a good one that we're going to talk about tonight, is the lower the sleep time you have, or if it has difficulty sleeping, a lot of times you you increase your risk of heart problems. So that's a big thing. One reason, like you see that with sleep apnea. A lot of times people will be diagnosed with sleep apnea, and that can be a patterning of not sleeping well for years on end. So just remember that. That's what I'm kind of getting to, is the why of like what that happens. The last little bit, as we go forward, is called gamma hydroxybutyrate. It's GHB. Hang on, guys, real quick. My wife let the dog out, and she's going to bark until we get her. So I will be right. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully I didn't lose too many people. But so it's exciting. I get some cool live stream stuff. Hopefully Sue figures out that little button on the side. But so let's talk about sleep tonight. So let's get rolling. Um, biggest thing on sleep. The biggest thing is there's several pieces to this. This is a very big conversation. We probably will get to a few situations, but as you go, if you have questions, let me know too, because it could be fantastic. So we are going to go in and start the presentation. Hopefully everybody's having a good weekend. It was awesome. Oh, I was going to show you my sauerkraut I was doing today as well, but I did not. Okay. So this is very cool. All right. Here we go. All right. So this is tonight's 1% tribe. We are coming in and all right. So this is tonight's. Okay, there we go. So we're going to talk about ways for a good night's sleep. All right. So good night's sleep. So what are we talking about tonight? Sleep strategies, using some mental exercises, movement strategies as well. So we'll talk about a little bit about that, and herbal remedies to begin your journey. There's a lot of herbal options here. Many times you can get really good situations on the herbal side of things. So we'll be able to really go after that. We're going to kind of dive a little bit into these other strategies because of the mental exercises, the movement strategies. But I really want us to focus on, the situation where the herbs this tonight. Okay. So some sleep mental practices that I really like. Obviously, the ones that you hear about a lot are meditation. Exercise is a fascination one too. So meditation, there's several ways to do different things. It's part of our 1% tribe in meditation. For those that don't know, I do a meditation one time of the day, which is in the morning, and then I'll do visualization at night, or I'll reverse it. Right now, I'm doing visualization in the day and then meditation at night. So I'm probably going to switch it back. It just helps your brain kind of not do the same monotony over and over again. But meditation's really cool. It can actually help quite a bit in in sleep. Many times it's your brain going crazy is a lot of times why the sleep thing happens, right? And so we need to constantly keep our brains kind of in that direction. And once we can get into that situation where we can kind of relax that brain out, it can be really good. There's a couple of apps that I really like for meditation to get started. Calm is the one I might go to because of how much they have available to you just for free. There's even more, if you want to do the monthly prescription type stuff. But you also there's one called Headspace that I really liked. Headspace kind of does a nice walkthrough on the meditation aspect. Exercise is an interesting concept because for me, and this is just me, not necessarily, populations out there. It's very interesting how exercise at night can actually help quite a bit. And so it sounds crazy, but exercise at night is something that I really enjoy. Two reasons. One, it keeps me away from ice cream watching a movie or something, right? So it keeps you out of that snacking situation. The other is because it allows me to like really kind of start resetting or relaxing after that. So a lot of times I'll say exercise in the form of situations where you're not pumping high testosterone. So let's say your heart rate, you're not going crazy with a heart rate one, or those are times where maybe exercise is better at night for you, right? And then that'll allow you to make a better decision sleeping. Some people love to do the morning thing, and that is fine, and it's actually really good, and it's studied that way. Sometimes the sleep, though, if you have trouble sleeping, try exercising at night. That makes a big difference. Make a to-do list. A lot of times, one of the best things to do for the next day that I've seen is to make some kind of list that you're going to have to do tomorrow. So then you're like, okay, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? If you're one of those people that's kind of OCD and like, okay, what am I going to do tomorrow? Write it down. Right. And then in your brain, write it down, make a little to-do list of what you need to accomplish that next day. We're going to talk about visualization. Visualization is different from meditation. We've done some 1% tribes on what visualization is. And from any facet of the imagination, you can use your own imagination to visualize your day, to visualize you sleeping, to visualize any part of your life. And so visualization, what? Jess is back. It's a miracle. That, my ladies and gentlemen, 1% tribe. She wins. If 1% tribe had a discount card for points, it's free though, so there's not much. So Jess would have one of those. I cannot wait. That's exciting. And congrats on the baby. I can't wait. I still is a very, very cool thing for me. I get chills every time. And your sister-in-law sent me the most beautiful picture of my daughter holding your baby. So at a football game, which was fantastic. So anyway, sorry to get personal. That was pretty awesome. So anyway, visualization by itself is a whole conversation. But there's a guy named Mike Dooley. I'll put him in the chat, actually. Mike Dooley. He is one of my favorites to learn from. I've taken almost every course of his. He is fantastic at teaching you and understanding like the finer points of visualization. Okay. Watching a comedy, a lot of times Rachel, we were watching something. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. You probably wouldn't guess that, but they have this new series. So me and my youngest daughter have been watching it, and she is not a fan. She is not a fan of the Lord of the Rings and the several different planes of different kinds of creatures and cultures that are in Lord of the Rings. So she's not a big fan of those. So I would say, hey, make sure you're reading something you like. She's more of a Hallmark, situation there. So to have her end on that night, that always is not a great move, especially if you're talking sleep. Okay. So these are some just different mental practices. Think that way, as we go forward. Um, it's very, very cool to figure out the sleep part because it's a journey, right? It's very frustrating journey, but it's definitely one. If you can figure this out, your health is so much better than going into the medication route. Okay, so I'm gonna try this. It's gonna be cool. So I think I can do this. Nope, I was wrong. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to screen share real quick. Let me see. Hang on. Let me open. Sorry, guys. I wanted to show you a couple of these things. Let me do. Okay, let's go down to that. Okay, so we're going to go back here. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. All right, so we're here. Okay. So, all right. So we're going to go to view slideshow. Okay. Okay. So here's where we're going to do these a little bit with no sound. I just want to show you some. So I got some examples of what Tai Chi looks like, yoga looks like, and some different massages. Okay. So we're going to go through that a little bit right here. Right. So this is called Shelong Qigong. Okay. So hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm not going to do all of it, but we're going to do because I don't want to get dinged. So as he's moving, you can really see him like just doing some just general stuff. It's kind of hilarious because this is the kind of process. Oh, it's not showing up on your screen. It's kind of hilarious because. Okay, I just noticed that. Stop sharing. Okay, hang on. I thought that would share. It's not doing it. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm supposed to share screen. Works best now. All right, let's see if it does it again. Share. There we go. Okay. Now it'll work. Okay, nope. Okay. Will that work? Oh man, I'm gonna mess this up. Okay. So we're gonna stop share. I'm sorry. I thought I was getting good at this. I lied to myself. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll go through this and then we'll go through those different situations there. For some reason, it's not allowing me to just click on them in the screen. Okay. So these are just different ones. Tai Chi, yoga, and massage. So these are these ones that I found are really, really good as far as like there's bedtime routines of yoga. Did you know that? No one thinks about that. Maybe these yoga poses are just to get those energies right for bedtime. So all I did was YouTubed yoga for nighttime, right? There's Tai Chi's for movement patterns. One of the things I really want to do, either at my office or at my house, is get a Tai Chi master and starting to have classes because I want to learn that. That's something that is big for me. That I think I've seen some major improvements in people, and I think it would be totally worth it. So, so once we get to the end of the presentation, I will try to present that again to you guys. So I apologize for that. But movements are the Tai Chi, the yoga, and the massage. So what I mean by massage is not necessarily uh, getting a massage at night, right? Like you can't go get somebody on Sunday night or whatever. But maybe that's when you pull out those tools. A lot of people have tools and instruments. The problem is like a lot of my people push on things very, very toughly to try to get pain knots and all those kind of things out of the way. Why not use those same tools to actually feel good instead of torturing yourself? Because what happens is if you start getting in the path of torturing, then we have issues. Now we have, like we start getting other chemicals involved that aren't necessarily great for sleep. Okay. So by working out a trigger point before you go to bed, there's a lot of toxins, there's a lot of neurology that's happening or that becomes active. So a lot of times you want to do something nice and relaxing to yourself. That's where the infrared technologies come in. That's where a lot of these different muscle things, a nice, warm bath, right? Those kind of things can be fascinating, as you go forward. So I apologize for these YouTube ones not working. Maybe soon I will get them, but we'll go on to the next piece so I don't get you too far behind. Okay. So adaptogens are what we're going to talk about tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to know what an adaptogen is yet, but what we're going to do, and these aren't even the more powerful ones yet, but one of the things you can do in all of sleep is to start using. Oh, yeah. You're going to hear, by the way, you're hearing my snoring dog. Poor doggy. I don't think she's ever had to be on a medicine, but this scar that she's got, yeah, we had to do that for sure. She's healing up nice though. It's pretty good. But man, is she snoring like she's got this like hook. They got this thing around her neck so she can't like mess with it. So that's my little corgi. I'll try to get a picture of her, but she might not love me doing that to her. But yeah, one more week and then she get her little stitches out. But right now she looks like the Bride of Frankenstein. So, but she's doing a lot better. So let's go back to the topic though. So adaptogens. So adaptogens are non-toxic. They increase non-specific defenses in the body and has a normalizing effect on the body. And so one of the reasons these are always one of my favorites is it helps the body adapt to stress, physical, mental, and environmental stresses. Okay. What do we talk about in chiropractic in the 1% tribe all the time? The thing that's going to get you, right, or get your health off is environmental stresses, physical, mental, environmental. We say thoughts, toxins, trauma, right? Those are big parts, and adaptogens help that tremendously. One of the big things is at our office, we're going to be carrying ashwagandha all the time. Why? Because a lot of times nervous system issues, you could take it right after an adjustment, and I think you would do fantastic because it helps all those neural pathways get regulated. So it helps to regulate the neuroendocrine. Neuroendocrine is neuron, so nervous system plus hormone system. That's what neuroendocrine means. Okay. So those two and your immune system. So that's a really good one. So ashwagandha is a very good one, very popular in today's world. Why? Because it really works well as a nice, relaxing when you're super, what they call wired and tired, overstressed, overworked, those kind of things that's happening currently in our society. Those are major pieces, major players. The two adaptogens for sleep that really pop out it can be, so ashwagandha kind of allows your body to take on all those stresses of the day and adapt correctly so that by the end of the day, when you want to sleep, like one of my dogs, do you hear that? I hope you all put a thumbs up or something in the chat if you hear my dog at the back. She is sawing logs. That is crazy. We were talking anyway. So, the next one, ashwagandha, is really good. The one that I would recommend with a wired and tired person still, that's an adaptogen that hits all the areas. It's called urethro root. Urethro is how I say it. It's probably not correct, but it's very popular for this exact situation. But it also helps sleep immensely. Okay. So those are two herbs that can help that. You guys hear that? Dang. That's hilarious. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the stuff that really, really helps in the herbal world. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. So please remember this as our presentation goes, because here's the problem with sleep. We get frustrated with the first herb we ever take. Most of the time there's two scenarios. One, we didn't take enough, or one, we didn't try it and give it time enough to work. Okay. So the biggest advantage that every medicine will have against every herb is that it works right away, because they've done a lot of chemical stuff within that process to get it to work instantly. That's what they make the money for, right? So one of the reasons a lot of those sleep aids work a lot better in the beginning is because of the chemical processes they put it through. Okay. So we have to give them the different things. And one of the biggest mistakes is we just try one thing and say, hey, it didn't work, I'm going to go back to my old way. Right. Doesn't mean you have to give up, though. There's lots and lots of options out there. And so the biggest thing is just don't give up on the herbals. Just keep trying. Always have your backup plan of that medicine possibly. But, once we get there, it's so much more natural of a herbal remedy. It'll be fantastic. So the definition, so we're going to talk about nervines. Okay. So nervines is a pretty big class of herbs that's out there. And the definition of a nervine is it has an effect on the nervous system. Okay. So it has an effect on the nervous system in some way. So the ones we're going to look at are relaxing the nervous system. There are some that excite the nervous system, right? So we're going to talk about the ones that do a really good job of relaxing that nervous system. And that's what gets you through the different relaxations. And the one you guys will know about that's on the screen right now is valerian root. Valerian root's kind of talked about quite a bit, but the one that I love the most with the people that usually watch my 1% tribe, you're not just doing it for you. You're doing it for your people around you. You're doing it because you love that lifestyle. And so a lot of the people that watch the 1% tribe are ones that passion flower would work really good for. Energetically, passion flowers for one that is the giver, right? So they use the example of a doctor or a nurse that's constantly giving all day, and really loves their job, right? So they love doing what they're doing. They give at home, they give at work, those kind of givers. And then they start struggling with, I have a really cool story on this, the passion flower. One day I'll bring it up. It's kind of an emotional one because it's a patient that I love to death, and her husband. I'll bring it up tonight anyway. So I have a patient and her husband come on all the time. They had a very struggle situation with a child, an older child that had something happen. And when that occurred, it was very, very traumatic situation. These two have worked two different jobs. Both of them combined, there's 4 jobs in the family, right? From mom and dad. And they've always been really, really good. They work their tails off all the time. This happened to this kid. Mom was having a real hard time with it. And she's just a giver, though. So she didn't even hardly miss a day at work, those kind of things. And that was pretty emotional. It was one of my first times I ever started really diving into the herbal stuff. Well, and I just read about passion flower, and I said, why don't you try this as a tea? Because I know you're not sleeping well. And she you shook your head. And then the next time she came in, she said, thank you. Just the passion flower tea helped her so much in just relaxing and being able to function and go to sleep again, that it was worth the try. So don't discount the passion flower, the valerian root. Each one could work differently each time. But it's one of those that could be really, really good. And I apologize. My dog, there ain't no moving her. She is out like a light. This is awesome. I should bring my microphone near her, but I will not. I will keep going. Okay. So valerian root's the other one that's very big and popular. These are all ones that we have at the office. I have this really cool app that we can, kind of do some things with at the office as well. But passion flower is really good. Tea is a really, really good one. Just make sure you're doing enough of it to get the actual benefit, right? So valerian root's the big one that everybody knows. This one's interesting. Valerian root and lemon balm. And this is right from Dr. Low Dog, when we go to all of her herbal training. But valerian and lemon balm is fantastic for kids. One of the reasons it tastes really good, number one. And a lot of times I think it'd be really, really good for adults as well. They just say it's great for kids based on taste, so they can actually do it. Lemon balm in the Amish community is a very big one for their herbal remedy for kids that can't get to sleep, right? My favorite, my go-to, the office staff knows, is chamomile. The reason chamomile is so important to me is because of the multiple categories of herb that it's in. It might be one of the more powerful herbs for the entire human body that I've ever seen. It has so many classes that it works in, other than just the muscle relaxing, nervine relaxing, right? So the nervous system relaxation. Chamomile is fantastic for all of those things. And so that works for adults, kids, all those. I usually start people with that because it's so nice on the human body. Milky oats is actually an herb. It's not actually like milk oats, right? It's a plant. I got to see it this time with Dr. Low Dog. We were talking about it a lot this time. Milky oats is great for kids. I think it has a really good taste. And a lot of times kids are able to do that one as well. So just remember, milky oats is probably one you haven't ever heard of, but it's a really good one. Okay. And then I think we'll talk about it now. So there's an amino acid called L-theanine. L-theanine is the amino acid you're starting to see in a lot of different sleep aid type situations. L-theanine is the one that they would promote quite a bit with different actual mushrooms. Like if you've noticed, mushrooms are coming to be super popular, and those super popular mushrooms are one of the reasons is because of this element, L-theanine. Because it's an amino acid your body does not produce, but it's very, very good for brain development and brain health. It's also found in green tea, black tea, those kind of situations. So remember L-theanine as we go. Okay, so we talked about that one. And so these are ones that are off of, they're not necessarily herbs. Rhodiola is a really good herbal remedy. I can't remember what class it's in, but it's very, very good for sleep. So remember rhodiola. Rhodiola is another one. Now, the one that we need to talk about that's the most common, that works pretty good, is melatonin. because it's not my favorite, will never be my favorite. And we're going to go through why. Melatonin is actually a hormone replacement type situation. So your body produces melatonin. Once you start taking melatonin, you will go to sleep. The problem is melatonin actually creates initiation of a sleep, but it doesn't keep you asleep. So a lot of times the other ones that I showed you, valerian, lemon balm, chamomile, if those work, passion flower, a lot of times those will actually create good, long lasting sleep throughout a night versus melatonin. Melatonin works to get you asleep. That is for sure. We know that through all the data and everything else. There's two problems. One, you initialize sleep, you fall asleep, and then if you wake up, it doesn't work again. That's one. The second one is anytime you replace a system in your body, which is a hormone in your body will stop making it as much. So therefore, there's an addictive part to melatonin. Plus, your body stops producing it as well. So it becomes a need, right? So melatonin is one. Maybe it's a few times situation, but we definitely want to not be on that all the time. Okay. So if you have any trouble with that, let me know. That one's a big one in our family. We tried all kinds of stuff. We got Lexi to do a little melatonin. Now we've backed off, because she was a night owl when she was a kid. And we had to figure that out. And sometimes melatonin, it's not terrible for them as long as you get them off of it and reroute that system. Okay. So this one's really cool. This one's 5-HTP. So 5-HTP it's a dietary supplement you can find out there. There's herbs, there's supplements, there's all kinds of good stuff. But it actually helps raise your serotonin level in the brain, which is amazing. This one they use for a lot of things. The neatest thing is how much science is behind this 5-HTP. And this is a nutritional supplement, not an herb, right? So since serotonin, it regulates. So if you increase your serotonin level, it helps regulate mood and behavior. 5-HTP also has a very positive effect on sleep, mood, anxiety, and pain sensation. So you can see that 5-HTP could be a critical piece of your healthcare kind of going forward. And it's a supplement that you can do to help raise that serotonin level, which is not replacing it like melatonin, right? Melatonin, serotonin, they're both hormones just based on their last name, right? I'm not taking serotonin. I'm taking 5-HTP that helps stimulate serotonin from getting built, right? Melatonin, I'm taking melatonin. All right. So that's a big difference, and it's an important one. Okay. So here is another couple combinations of things to try. If you don't have these, come talk to us. We got we'll either have it there or we can order it, which is fun too, because we got lots of options there. One that's kind of popular is valerian root and hops as a combo. That's pretty cool. Hops does it for me, man. Hops by itself, that's all I need. Hops is one of my favorites for sleep. And obviously it works because if I have a hoppy beer, I am night for the rest of the time. So valerian and lemon balm, like we talked about before, really, really good for kids. And then possibly passion flower with combining it with valerian, right? So those are some different options that people have had really, really good effects with. And of course, hops by itself can be fantastic. So I think, yeah, so that is it for the herbs that we're going through. If you guys have any comments in the chat, go ahead and throw them in there. Oh, hang on. Didn't mean to push a button. And I apologize for tonight. I'm going to try. Let me do this one part and then we'll try to go back to the Tai Chi yoga, those different examples. So what can we do tonight for a 1% improvement? Introduce meditation or visualization if you haven't done that yet. New movements, Remember, Tai Chi, yoga, maybe some massage prior to bed. That'd be a really good one. Any of those type of things, nothing overactive, but enough to kind of calm you down. And then the herbals, or the combination of herbals that we showed, try some of those. They're not hard. They're pretty cheap, actually. And you, by yourself, could be sleeping like this. That is so funny. All right. So I know I'm the only one that finds myself funny. However, we're going to try this screen share again one more time and see if I can do this. Okay. So I want to go here. Actually, let's do this. See if it'll do it. I'm just checking some stuff, guys. Oh, sweet. Okay. So it's working. All right. So this is called Qigong. It's a type of, I believe it's a type of Tai Chi. Sorry, guys. I'm just checking the chat just to make sure I do it correctly. Okay. So if you watch him, he's doing several warm-up movements, which is fantastic. How simple are these movements? One of the things I absolutely love, let's go up to a couple different ones. I don't want to get in trouble for showing his whole situation, but these are movements we can do, guys. These are absolutely movements we can do. Very flowy, nice. You see these people in the park all the time. Very strong movements. Very strong. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back. Okay. So we're going to do that again. Let's see, which other one do I have? And here is some yoga aspects. I didn't do it again correctly. Okay, stop sharing. Sorry, guys. Percent share screen. Okay. Figured out how to do this. Okay. Oops. Get that back on there. Oh, add to stage. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so this one is kind of an interesting take. That's why I want you guys to pay attention. Of course, I can't use the video because YouTube will hack me or something. So I have to do the presentation for you because last time I almost got booted. So this is called just a yoga for bedtime. And just to start in different positions, you can see how your dog is getting in your way, and that will happen in yoga. I'm going to show you a couple different positions she's got. Her name is, I can't remember. She's very, very good, though. She has a really good 10-minute presentation of just doing very minor little things in the yoga world. Okay. Yeah. And it's just these movements. These are ones you don't want to be pushing yourself in yoga to the point of where it's difficult, right? Not before bed. And that's the biggest thing. So we want to make sure that our yoga movements are ones that are easy for us, right? And that's basically, the biggest key to the whole thing is always going to be when you're in bed, you're trying to get into a place where your parasympathetic body, right? Your fight or flight is over here. Your rest and digest is over here. And you're trying to get that rest and digest to be the predominant situation. Because if you can be in this restful state, life is going to be a lot better. So So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. My hope is that Sue figured out how to get her audio going. I appreciate all of you on there. As we go, I'm excited. Any kind of questions, please make sure you're asking, because I would love to do kind of a Q&A as well. I want to know other topics. Amy and I were talking about that. Just getting more topics out there that are of interest to others would be fantastic. So after this video, make sure that you're putting in there like what your thought processes are on different subjects we could cover. Because I love talking, and you all know that. And so why not, keep going on that aspect of the thing. So well, hopefully you guys all enjoyed it tonight. And see you Sunday. Oh, don't forget. Oh, I'm going to actually put that. Oh, you did. Jess, thank you. I'm going to read Jess's. Thank you. Made some tea tonight. May do some yoga. Interesting topics. Releasing trauma from the body. So true. Oh, I got one other thing I got to do. I'm going to share it in the. Okay. Because I want to make sure you guys, if you ever miss one, and I do other actual, I just did another webinar podcast today. And it's called The Prize Inside. And you can get on Spotify, and everything we're doing right now, we can, let me share. Okay. So it's called The Prize Inside on Spotify. Okay. So it has the symbol up here on the thing. So it's called The Prize Inside. If you look it up, it has every episode, but in audio form. So I'm going to put in, so in the chat is going to be last week's episode on allergies as an audio. Okay. So that's one place I love to send people, because every Wednesday there is a new episode. Some of them are recordings of this. Some of them are just me blabbing about chiropractic philosophy. And so I think this week is going to be one on chiropractic and technology, right? So chiropractic holistic world as a technology, which is kind of cool. So just as you go, remember, drink some tea. It's starting to get dark out in Michigan, so I think my views will go up a little bit. Ooh, Diana. Let's see what she says. So Diana says, interested in the valerian and lemon balm. Might help Ella sleep. How do I make or get it? So good question. We have that. So we have that at the office. We use is how cheap it is. So you can get it online. Very easy to do on the old Amazon and those kind of situations. However, we have a really good one. Chups. There's a place called Chups. It's an Amish herbal store in Sturgis. Diane. It's so crazy, Ms. Wagner. It's crazy. I didn't know my world was going to be flipped upside down when a patient came in, handed me a catalog of an herbal place, literally, 30 minutes from us? And it's massive, and they make their own handmade everything. It's fantastic. So if you ever want to have a little road trip, go to Chups. It's called Chups, or we have burnt them out of a lot of little supplements. They weren't ready for us as far as how much we order from them. But valerian is one and lemon balm is the other that we put together very, very well. And with Ella, a lot of times it is a combination of cool stuff. And what's neat is you can experiment with her. Like kids really enjoy saying, all right, try this. See how you sleep tonight, right? Because it's their adventure too, which is kind of fascinating. So see if they can find it, because if they can help you find it, that could be a really good thing as well. So, oh, yes. That is good. So hopefully I answered that question correctly. Me and you will talk about getting you set up where you can get it all the time, or just come into the office. It's really good price too. I think I think Valerian's like $15. It's crazy. That's the other reason I love Chups is they're just boom. They just get you really good high quality, and it's literally 30 minutes away. It's crazy. So we got lucky that way. Jess put it posts interest topic of next time: the effects of technology on the brain and the body. Ooh, you can get me booted off of YouTube. That's what you're gonna do. That's gonna be a good one. We are gonna use that because of the massive amounts of information that are out there that people don't want to talk about. Like, man, my dog's getting closer. That's awesome. It just brings back memories of my dad. We'll end it tonight on this. My father had this shift. He was like 5:30 to 2. So he did that every day, all the time. The reason he wanted to be home with the kids so he could make dinner. And my mom was a teacher. So he would have dinner ready for all the sports and getting off the bus and everything. Right. So every Friday he would want us to pick this action adventure movie, get so excited. And then by the time the title starts rolling, this is what us boys heard. We would mess with him all the time. To this day, I still mess with the old man about that. So, but other than that, guys, thank you so much. This was awesome. And to have a super packed comment section is amazing. So, yeah. So you guys have a great week. If you need any help in these situations, call us. We will walk you through all of it because all of my office staff is getting really good at the sleep ones because they work in all kinds of categories. So, all right, guys, have a good night.